I want to welcome you to the Pro Mindset Podcast. The Pro Mindset Podcast is all about diving into the headspace that results in championship performance. High-performing athletes, winners, have this mental flow and have a positive headspace for their performances and success. Join me, Craig Domann, sports attorney and NFL agent, on this podcast. I will interview pro athletes, college athletes, football coaches, and sports personalities. Together, we can discover how you can get in the flow and have your own pro mindset.
So today on Pro Mindset Podcast, I have a young man who is playing in the MLS. He's on the U.S. at the highest level in the United States for the men's soccer program, Sammy. I want to welcome you to the show today.
Hey, Greg, how's it going? It's good to be here.
Okay, so I got to tell the audience my first introduction to Sammy Vines. And I have a son named Brock who went to school with Sam. And I was the GM for our very highly competitive developmental soccer team. And so I was always looking for talent. So I went to the May Day at the school where you did all the running and jumping and all the different competitions to win ribbons. And I don't know if there was any event that you competed in that you didn't win, but you were in a different gear than everybody else. And I'm like, hey, we got to get this kid on our soccer team. So you joined our soccer team, gosh, I don't know how many years ago it's been, but you've always had an extra gear. Compared to everybody else, you had the footwork and the speed. That was kind of your deal. You could always win with speed. Share for everybody what team you're on, what level you're at, kind of where you're going right now.
Yeah, I mean, pace is a big part of soccer. And growing up, obviously, I was one of the faster guys growing up. But I mean, now pretty much everyone's catching up or close to the same pace in the league. So you have to work even harder to keep that pace going. And obviously, it's been a different mindset ever since from those first few days and when I joined Brock's team and played with the young guys up until now. There's just been a lot of hard work, a lot of different determination to get to where I am.
So share with everybody where you're at right now. What U.S. team you on?
Yeah, so right now I play for the Colorado Rapids. This is going to be my third season with them, and I got my first men's national team cap this past January. Was my first camp with them, and I was fortunate enough to have the head coach Greg. He liked me enough to where he let me start the game, and I got to play most of it. But I play for the Colorado Rapids and the U.S. men's national team.
Okay, so the men's U.S. national team, how many guys are on the roster?
Guys that suit up for the game, there's only 18. This past camp, there are probably, I want to say, 24 of us, 26 of us in the whole camp.
Okay, so for soccer fans out there, and even for football fans out there, that puts you in the top 26 guys in our nation in soccer. Is that fair to say?
For the most part, because camp to camp, it usually changes based on the eligibility of guys that can get called into the camp. Some clubs don't release the players to go to the camp. But yeah, for the most part, I would say he's one of the top in the U.S. Okay,
so in terms of getting the opportunity to play for our national team and compete in the World Cup, what's the gap between where you're at right now and getting to that place?
I mean, hopefully by now it's smaller because I was able to get my first cap and try and get integrated into the team with this full camp because we were together for a month. And so hopefully I left a good impression on Greg and the coaching staff there. So hopefully next year they're postponing the Olympics to next year. So if I get called into that, I think that'll increase my chances to be able to hopefully get called into the World Cup the next year.
Well, Teddy and I, my wife, we've both been to probably about a dozen World Cup games over the years, going all the way back to 1994 before you were born. And we lived in Paris in 1998 for the summer and went to about a half a dozen games. So we've been to a lot of World Cup games. It would be truly amazing if you could put yourself in a position to play for the U.S. team and they actually would be successful and get into the World Cup. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about the MLS. So you skipped college. Basically, you went straight to the pros. How was it adjusting to competing being in the locker room and basically living side by side with grown men when you were just right out of high school?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different mentality. I've been training with them since I was 14, so the guys were letting me go in with the first team and train day in, day out. So it was a little easier for me based on how often I was training with them before I signed. But still, it's a different gear. Once you actually sign for the team and try and win your starting spot, everything changes. I mean, before I signed, I spent a year in Charlotte with the Charlotte Independence. It's a USL club. And then after that first year, the club wanted me to come back and wanted me to start playing games and compete for a spot. And you just got to show in preseason, show day in, day out through training, and hopefully they give you the spot. Once you get your opportunity, you just got to take it and run with it.
Okay, so it's Pro Mindset's the name of the podcast, and we talk about mindset, believing in yourself, being passionate about what you do, your sport, being motivated, training hard, having a good lifestyle, having great habits, and having clutch performance mindset. What is like your go-to mentally for you to be competitive and successful, just competing and winning your starting spot, going out on a Friday night and playing? What's your go-to mindset?
I just want to be comfortable. So whatever I can do to make myself more comfortable before the game before games is the best for me. So just doing the same routine, pretty much just, hanging out, not going out, just keeping your body ready for the game. And then once I'm in the locker room, just trying to be comfortable. For me, I just like to talk to guys and just feel like I'm there. I'm living in the present. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's just ultimately just being comfortable and, not overthinking it, thinking too much into the game, just going out there and, doing what you think you can do.
Well, you've always been a hard worker. How do you apply your mindset to your training?
You just got to know that there's always someone behind you. If you don't train well that week, you don't play well in the game that week, then you just got to know that spot's not always there for you. And there's always going to be someone trying to take it. So that's a big motivator for anyone, knowing that your spot isn't always there and knowing that you want to get to a better place than where you're at right now and just trying to work hard.
Well, one of the things that guys talk about in the NFL is how the name on the front of the jersey doesn't change. That's the team. But the name on the back of the jersey can change at any minute. The team owns the jersey and you're renting it. And as soon as you don't pay your rent by working hard and doing your job, they're going to give that jersey to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What's been the biggest challenge or the biggest adjustment? You're 20 years old.
Yep.
What's been the biggest adjustment? You've been overseas playing a lot and training. You've been different parts of the country in Florida and Charlotte and everywhere else, LA and everywhere else.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you?
Probably just playing with different players pretty much every year. And I mean, even into the national team, you play with guys from all over the league and you have to adjust to the coaching staff and how they're going to run the team. And I mean, last season, we had 3 different coaches for the Rapids. So, I mean, the adjustment for that is very difficult. You have to change the 3 different systems and 3 different ways of how you're going to play. So, I think the biggest adjustment is just playing with a bunch of different faces and bunch of different coaches.
Well, that does sound interesting.
Yeah.
Because soccer, there's a game within the game, and there's multiple games within a game. And one of them is to make sure that you're doing it the way the coach wants you to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Are you a left back? What's your position?
Yeah, I'm a left back. Yeah, primarily a left defender.
Okay. So you're a lefty, but all soccer players are ambidextrous. And because of your speed, and your speed differential isn't like it used to be because you're playing against the best in the country or best in the world.
Yeah.
But it used to be you had that edge with speed, and you were more of a scorer more than a defender. What is different in your mind between being an attacker and being a defender?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different. Yeah, like you said, I used to be the guy up there scoring goals for the team, and it's obviously a different mindset because you got to work on your 1v1 defending, especially on the outside. You're playing against, right wing and left wing. I was pretty much the most technical players on the team, so it's difficult to switch that mindset to being a defender and having to stop goals rather than score goals. But yeah, I just think of it as I have to do my job, and if I get an opportunity to score a goal, then I'll hopefully take it. But yeah, but primarily I'm more of just, keep a clean sheet, keep a shutout, and let the guys up top score the goals.
Okay, so as a defender, is there a lot of anticipation in your game? Meaning when the ball's away from you, and let's say you guys have possession, and inevitably they're either going to score, kick it out, or lose possession. And when the other team counterattacks, how do you prepare your mind? What goes through your head when you're on the field, but you're not in the play yet because your team has the ball?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to stay locked into the game. And for me, I mean, if the ball's on the opposite side, I'm supposed to tuck in and pick up someone in the midfield. And obviously, we have guys behind me that are telling me, where to go. The center backs are in charge of kind of commanding the game and yelling at me if I'm in the wrong spot. So I think talking on the field has helped everyone. It helps everyone positionally. And yeah, for me, it's just going inside and covering when the ball's on the other side. And you always just got to stay tuned into the game.
What is the point in the game where you might get a little bit fired up and a little bit anxious, maybe even a little bit nervous, when it's perhaps in a situation where it's 1v1 and you don't have any help and maybe things are a little bit out of whack? How do you handle those high pressure situations? Yeah,
you just gotta try and stay calm. Obviously, it's hard to do that, especially if you're getting run out 2v1 or 1v1. You just got to think that someone is going to be there to cover you no matter what. Even if you're the last guy back, you just got to try and contain the counterattack and try and slow it down just enough to where you can get more numbers back. So I think the goal in that situation is just to contain the pressure and try and calm it down as best you can.
What is your go-to play? What's your knack? What do you do? I mean, are you a good slide tackler? You blocking passes? You stealing the ball off guys' feet? You just steady and always in good position? What is your forte?
I think 1v1 defending. I'm a difficult guy to get past. And I like to join the attacks. Like you said, I used to be an attacker, so I'm more of an attacking outside back. So anytime I get a chance to go forward, I'll join in and, put some balls in the box or go in the middle and join the attack. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Okay, so let's talk about your off-season. In soccer, you really don't have an off-season because when you're not playing with the Rapids, there's something going on in soccer 24/7, 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
What do you do to get downtime? How do you build that into your lifestyle?
It's difficult to actually find, the whole week or something out of the year just to shut everything down and not think about soccer. I mean, this past year I only had, like I said, a week. So I just tried to, tune soccer out. I didn't talk to anyone on the team or anything. I just shut everything down. And yeah, it's difficult because, I mean, in the off season, there's national team stuff. There's World Cup qualifiers. There's tons of stuff going on. So it's just difficult to find time just to shut everything down.
What's the coolest thing about playing in the MLS?
I think it's just guys that you get to play with, the locker room, the whole locker room mentality. It's awesome to just go in and see all your guys, all your friends every day, and get to train with them and talk to them about anything you need. I think that's the best part, just the whole locker room.
What's the age range on the Rapids between the youngest and the oldest player?
The oldest is 36, 37, and the youngest is, I want to say 17.
17. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a wide range. So some have wives and kids, and some are still chasing girls.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the guys have wives and kids, and then the younger guys are just, most of them are just single and looking to get some girls.
What did you learn from playing with the strikers? And I think you had 3 coaches or so, maybe more with the strikers. You had Coach Farley, Coach McLean, and myself. What did you learn back then that you've kept? And don't have to patronize me. Is there anything that you learned back then that you still use today?
I think you guys taught me just pretty much the mentality part. I mean, before I joined the Strikers, I was just playing for fun and, just having a good time and, just hanging out with friends all the time, all my buddies. And, once I joined the Strikers, it was more like, more competitive. I mean, we were trying to win games and, working our hearts out in training and stuff. So, yeah, I think just the mentality part you guys helped me with a lot.
Gotcha. Well, you have obviously been extremely successful. What is your end goal? Let's say, for example, and you're 20 years old today, it's 2020, and let's say it's 2035, 15 years from now, and you just hung up your cleats. What do you want to happen between 2035 and today?
I think for most guys, the ultimate goal is to play in World Cups. So for me, it's just to play in as many World Cups as I can in between now and then. And I mean, my ultimate goal is to play in the Premier League. So if I can get to England and have a little career, and I think that's my ultimate goal, just playing the World Cup and playing the Premier League.
How many guys from the MLS get the opportunity to go over to the Premier League?
Not many, honestly. Guys that have signed, it's pretty difficult to get in the Premier League with the whole visas and trying to get the work permit. There's only been probably a handful of guys that have gone to the Premier League from the MLS.
Okay, so what are you going to do that no one else is willing to do to get there?
I mean, just work hard. You just got to put your head down, and you got to find connections. You got to find people that know people, and obviously the work has to be there to get those connections. So I think I just have to work hard and talk to the right people, and hopefully in the end I can get the opportunity to go over there.
Well, I think if you become one of the best in our nation and become one of the best in the World Cup scene and become a big-time influencer and contributor on the field for the U.S. World Cup, the Premier League will happen because people will know who you are. They compete against you. They'll hate playing against you, and you won't even need any connections. They'll come get you. You know what I mean? So I think, if I were in your shoes, knowing what I know, I would work my butt off and do everything and put the right people around you and get rid of the wrong people and do the right things and make sure that you're doing everything you can to get a mental edge and a physical edge so that it manifests on the field. Because if you take a day off, you don't take a day off, and you play well, nobody knows.
Yeah.
But if you take a day off or two and you're not mentally ready for a game and you don't play well, everybody knows.
No, exactly, yeah.
Right? So it's about you get graded on your performance in games. Now, if you don't take care of business in practice, you may not have the opportunity to play in the games. You got that down. You're a hard worker. You're committed. You're dedicated, all that stuff. But you have to make plays in the games. You have to be a baller. You have to be one of the best. You got to be one of the best in MLS. Yeah. And every time you get an opportunity to go to U.S. national team camp, the goal isn't to make it. The goal's got to be the best guy on the team.
Yeah.
Not just be able to play one position. Be multi-positional. So if they want you on the team because, hey, if somebody goes down, they're sliding you around. You're not just stuck at one spot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got to be a guy that, and I'm sure you do this in your game planning with your coaches at the Rapids, when you guys talk about what your strategy is going to be for that game, you talk about, hey, we're going to attack this defender. Okay, he's a sucker for this. Mm-hmm. If we can get 2-on-1 on him, we got him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? He gets tired. He's out of shape, right? Or he's lazy. Or he cheats too much. He doesn't stay back. Yeah. Whatever he does, your attacking strategy is to go against that dude. Mm-hmm. You got to be the guy that the other MLS coach go when they start putting together their offensive strategy. Hey, this Sam Vines guy, he's an animal. You got to be really smart with the ball. Yeah. And they're going to try to take you away from the goal and attack from the other side. Yeah, exactly. And when teams are game planning for you because you're dominating, then all of a sudden you're a MLS All-Star.
Yeah.
Right? So
exactly. Yeah.
I think the answer is so simple. The most complicated, biggest dream answers are always the simple ones. Be the best.
Yeah.
Be the dude. And when you go to your next national camp, whenever they let you guys reconvene with all this coronavirus stuff going on, everyone's disbanded.
Yeah.
You got to go in with the mindset, I'm the biggest and best dude here. And I know I'm playing left back, but I could play left attacker too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or, heck, man, even though you're a lefty, if they want to put you on the right, you can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And you got to have that attitude, that body language, that moxie, confidence, and you got to back it up with your work, with your training.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? What has the coronavirus done to your soccer training, to your soccer teams, to the national team camp? Share with everyone what's everybody doing now.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult to do anything. I mean everything's been canceled. I mean until further notice, we don't know when we're going to be back. So the club provided all of us with whatever we needed. So most of the guys just got bikes, like stationary bikes, and any gym equipment, some weights, and some stuff to keep us fit. They put out a plan for us to try and stay fit through this. I mean, you'd call it an off season, just because we don't know when we're going to be back. So yeah, the club has provided a few things for us for just to stay fit. So most of the guys, I mean, we're all staying home. We're just trying to stay away from everyone. So we're just staying home, trying to stay fit, enjoying time with our families, and yeah, exactly, just trying to stay healthy, stay fit.
Yep, got to stay healthy. Well, here's the thing, Sam. You're only 20 years old. If things don't work out for you at the Rapids, on the U.S. national team playing in the Olympics, getting on the U.S. national team and playing in the World Cup or playing in the Premier League, there's always American football. You could always go be a receiver. You said low fours on your 40. I think you probably run a 4.3 something.
Yeah.
And there's always a place for you. You made my son look really good by just beating everybody downfield and keep threw the ball as far as he could, and you still had to wait for it.
Yeah.
So, right. So,
yeah,
there's always American football if football doesn't work out. So, hey, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I want to thank you for catching me up on where you're at, where you're going. And here's the thing, Sammy. You can do anything you set your mind to. You can't always tell everybody what you want to do, but you can be the poster boy, the poster child for U.S. soccer if you put the commitment in and you make plays every time you get an opportunity in the games. And if you do that consistently, you've gotten to where you're at now because of that, you'll just keep rising. So I want to wish you the best of luck.
All right, Craig. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on the show, and it's been great to catch up. Thanks for having me, and hope all is well back in spring.
You got it. All right, Sammy. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Pro Mindset. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. You can follow us on our website, ProMindsetPodcast.com, or on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Pro Mindset Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you the next time.
Is your new year still falling flat? Do you avoid stairs with multiple steps? You are not alone. This year, millions will be diagnosed with low energy or low E. But Planet Fitness has the cure. With clean, spacious clubs and tons of equipment, you can boost your energy after one workout. Leave low E behind and find your big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Join in the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month.
Join the judgment-free zone today. Deal extended to Wednesday, April 12th.
See Home Club for details.
Leftovers or the DMV number 97 or house cleaning or Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.